My wife and I have leased land on 4 different properties in the last 6 years, and in this video I'll share with you our 5 biggest mistakes, and at the end of the video I'll share with you what our best land match looked like. If you don't know what land leasing is or land matching, it's when farmers who are looking for land make an agreement with landowners who are looking for farmers to work their land. And this is something that's relatively new, and the reason that people like us and other farmers are trying it out is because land is astronomically expensive. And so instead of trying to buy land, we're trying to lease land from people within our community. So we've done land leases in the city with an undeveloped house lot. We've done it with a friend who lived out in the country. We've done it with an elderly couple who were running a homestead. And we've also done it with a customer of ours. So we have pretty much experienced it all, and we've developed a lot of expertise on this subject. And through these experiences, we've made a ton of mistakes. And I want to share those with you because there's a lot of point of frictions that we uncovered, and I want to share those with you in hopes that you can avoid those as well. Mistake number 1 was not prioritizing the aesthetics of the garden. For landowners, their number 1 priority is the aesthetics of their property. Because their property is their sanctuary, they want it to look pristine, and they take a lot of pride in it. So how it looks is very important to them. And so making sure you mow the lawn regularly, weed whack, keep the garden weeded, and just make sure everything is nice and tidy and organized. That is super important. We underestimated how difficult it was going to be to farm for the first 2 seasons. And it was chaos. It was mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausting. And the aesthetics of the farm weren't really our priority at that time, because we were just trying to make enough money to pay our bills and also not trying to have a mental breakdown. So the aesthetics of the farm started to slip, and when that happened, we noticed that the landowners, they get really upset by that. So making sure that your garden that they give you is pristine and organized is super important. Mistake number 2 was don't use or borrow any of their tools or equipment. So my advice to you would be to buy a lawnmower, buy your own weed whacker, buy your own irrigation system, and your own set of tools. Your landowners might offer these things to you, but I wouldn't recommend taking them up on that offer, because if you start using their things and those things happen to break either while you're using them or after you've used them, they will start to blame you for those things, even though it wasn't your fault. So you might not be able to afford to buy all these different things, but you also can't afford to get into a bad relationship with your landowner and to be kicked off the land prematurely. So make sure you just use all of your own stuff. Mistake number 3, make sure you know what they expect from you. So make a contract and get everything down in writing, because a lot of land matches happen because landowners need help maintaining their property. And so in exchange for farmland, they'll have farmers come in and help them with chores. And so knowing what all of the chores are throughout the year is really important. Communication is absolutely key. So the more you guys have out in the open and the more you know what's going on and what's expected from you, the smoother your relationship will go. Mistake number 4, ask for references. So if your landowner has had farmers on their property before, it's really important to ask for those references, get their contact information, and just have a chat with them, because you need to know as much as you can about these landowners so you know what to expect from them. Mistake number 5, don't invest in the property right off the bat. So when you make an agreement, don't immediately start building a hoop house and a nursery and investing a whole bunch of money in the soil, at least for the first 2 seasons, because you don't really know how long you're going to be there for, and you might not be around long enough to reap the rewards. In the first probably 6 months of the relationship, it's going to go through this honeymoon phase, and it's going to feel very smooth, and it's going to feel like everything's going wonderfully. But after that phase ends, the relationship will change, and you guys will probably start to butt heads a little bit and get a little annoyed with each other, which is common in most relationships. So wait until that phase happens, and then you'll really start to understand if this land match has long-term potential. So that's it. Those were our 5 biggest mistakes for land leasing. And now I want to share with you what our most successful land match has been, which is where we're at right now. For the last 2 seasons, we were farming on another property, and those people decided to sell. And so we reached out within our email newsletter and asked anyone if they were interested in leasing us some land. And one of our customers actually reached out and told us he had a half-acre field that he was tired of mowing, and that we could move onto the property and turn the field into a farm. And this relationship has been going really well. He is a 40-year-old single guy. He has a smaller property, so he doesn't expect us to do any property chores. As long as we keep things nice and tidy and the grass trimmed in our area, he gives us full control. He's not a grower, so he doesn't have any input or advice on how to farm. And if things get a little weedy in the garden, he doesn't really notice, and I'm sure he wouldn't even really care. So this has been our best land match. This relationship has been going really smoothly, so take from it what you want. If you're interested in finding farmland to lease, I would highly recommend checking out a program called the Young Agrarians. It's a free program set up that will help farmers find land to lease, and it's totally free. They'll even help you come up with a contract with the help of a lawyer if you were to find your own land to lease, which is what we did with this property. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out my channel, because I have a whole bunch of other videos that are designed to help you on your farming journey.